How clear are you on your brand? Working out what you really want to be known for is not an easy task, and you may even find that it evolves over time. In some ways, I feel that the task of branding is never finished. I'm Amy from White Acres, and I help your business look irresistible to your ideal clients so that they can't wait to work with you. I know it's really tempting to jump straight to the exciting bits, creating a logo, choosing your colours and typefaces, commissioning photographs, and poring over website templates. But it's crucial to take a step back before you get to that part and work out what it is that makes your business super special. To get clarity on your brand so that you can make your life easier when you do get to the visual parts. The first thing to do is to grab some paper and spend some time writing about your brand. So get everything out that you think is important. This is a great way to start because it gets you warmed up and thinking about your brand before you move on to the questions. You can't get this bit wrong, so just spend a few minutes writing out and jotting down anything that pops into your head. You can think about things like what you're passionate about, what you can bang on for hours about when people come to see you for advice on things. What do they want to know? What kind of things can you change for others? Which books and blogs and magazines and films really get you going? What can you not seem to stop learning about and loving learning about? What are you excited to get out of bed to do? And what are your dreams? How do you want your life to look? What skills have you got that help you run your business? And when you've done all of that, these are the questions that you're going to help really dig into that and work out what your brand is all about. So to start off with, you need to think about what it is that you do. So what is it that you offer? Are you selling picture frames, a drill, or a hole in a wall? Are you selling pretty shoes or happy feet? Are you selling graphic design services or confidence? Are you selling skincare or relief? Are you selling beautiful cakes or sheer melt in the mouth happiness? Then you need to think about how you do these things differently. So this is about your values, those super important words that help you to define what it is that you're about and communicate that through each touch point. So don't choose obvious words. For example, an accountant is methodical. Think about words which are not expected. Remember that you are trying to show how you are different, not the same as everyone else who does what you do. So when you're talking about your business to other people, what sort of words do you use and what really gets you passionate? And then think about what it is about your business that means you're the only real option for your ideal client. Do you have a particular way of doing things? Why should your ideal client buy from you? This might be a really good moment to check out your competitors. So how are you different to them? You could make yourself a grid and you can look at what it is that they say about themselves, what they offer, how they promote themselves, how much they charge, and anything else that you think is relevant to help you to work out what it is that makes you different to them. And then what makes you an authority at what you do? How did you get to be where you are now? This is about your story. This is about the path that got you here, the qualifications, experiences and trainings that you've been part of that have helped you to become an expert, the people that you've helped, the outcomes that they've had as a result, the processes that you've put in place to deliver your offering. These things all make you different to anybody else because no one else can be you. Think also about how people can see that you're an authority. Does you have a book? If you've been speaking at any events, if you've written so many articles that you are absolutely everywhere, do people find that they discover you wherever you go? Have you won any awards? What have you done to make your authority status obvious to the people who matter? And then think about who do you work for? So your ideal client is something that I have written about before. I love to talk about it. It's really important to get a handle on that and what makes them tick. So there are a few ways to work out not only who your customers actually are now, but who your perfect client is. So if you meet them in real life, then it's a lot easier to get an idea of this. But even if you sell products online and you've never met them, you can still find out a lot about who they are. So here's a brief rundown of some ideas that will help you to work out who your ideal client is. The first thing that you can do is to create a survey. You can do this in person. You can do this as a link to something like SurveyMonkey or Typeform. You'll need to think really carefully before you even get to that stage about which questions you're going to ask to make sure that you get what you need without asking too many questions, because you do actually want them to fill it in. You can ask this easy questions first, what age, gender they are, then ask them things like what their interests are, what they read, where they shop. You could even ask them, why they bought from you and what they valued about the experience, and spend some time just really working on which questions are the right ones to ask so that you don't miss any of the important ones. And then the next thing to do is to spend some time in your stats. So social media platforms, Google Analytics, are full of wonderful information about the people who are interested in what you do. So spend some time in there, find out as much as you can, look at all of the demographics and all the interests, and just really get into it and just enjoy it. It's really good fun. And then the next thing to do is to think about the problems that you solve for your customer and write these down. So think about the questions that you keep being asked by people, because this will really help. And then think about, what are your customers worried about? What goals do they have? What values do they have? And then when you're done, create a really detailed customer profile to really help you focus all of your marketing efforts. And this should include things like their age, their gender, their relationship status, if they have kids or pets, what job they do, what income bracket they're in, where they live, all that kind of stuff, so that you can have a really clear idea of who that person is. And then the last section is to think about, what is your vision for your business? So what are your plans for the future? Where do you see your business going? Who will you be working for? How do you want people to feel when they see your visual branding? This is an opportunity to dream. So get really excited and see what feels really good for you. And then think about what you want to be known for. And this is part of helping you get really intentional with your brand, so that you're communicating the right information in the right way to the right people. Putting out what you want to put out so that people have the right impression of you and your business. So these questions are going to help you to really gain some clarity in your business, so that you can move on, think about your visual brand in the most intentional way, speaking to the right audience and creating compelling materials that draw them in. So download the worksheet and let me know how you got on in the comments, because I'd really love to know.